work to-do list lives in 5 places: on Slack messages, on Teams chats, on random emails, on sticky notes on your desktop, and still things keep falling through. This video is for you. This is how I actually use a planner for work. It's not aesthetic at all, but it is real productivity. Hi, I'm Ahana. I work full-time, I'm a mom, and I like to indulge in creative pursuits like this one. And if I did not have a planner for every section of my life, it would definitely be falling through the cracks. I will link to the video about my entire planner lineup up in the cards and also down below in the description. There were a couple of comments asking me why Neorah is not there. That's because I was kind of figuring out how to use Neorah for work, and it's still early days, like it was January, and I was kind of testing it out, how it works, how it doesn't work. And I finally have an answer for you. So here's Neorah and how I'm using it for work. So first, let's talk about why you need a work planner. The most basic thing is to organize your to-dos, right? I know that so many things keep coming throughout the day. It's not just that at the beginning of the work week you kind of plan, this is what I need to do Monday through Friday, and that's it. Because in the middle of the week something or the other comes up, you have a meeting and then there are follow-ups, and somebody sends an email and that needs to be done right away. All of these things are very real tasks that keep cropping up, and if you just keep on making a to-do list after to-do list after to-do list, there is no end to that. Frankly, work is not even just these line items like one or two tasks, right? It is deadlines, it is meetings, it is bigger projects that you're working on, it is like more leadership calls and things that you have to present to people, things that you have to just learn for your own advancement, and many things like that. How a planner really helps me is to see all my tasks very clearly. It helps me kind of know how my days are going to be structured. I can see when exactly my meetings are, when I will get focus blocks to work on something, when something is due, and if a deadline is coming up, if something is like running on the background for a while and maybe an update could be coming up. That is also something that I can see very clearly if I'm consistently using my work planner. Let me show you how I set up my work planner. Now this is a very super simple system. This is the Accomplish Neorah Weekly Planner for 2026. It is a dated version, and this one is in rhubarb red. I have done detailed videos about this. I will link that as well in the cards and in the description. You already can see all the spreads etc. that are here from those videos. I'll just show you how I'm using them right. So I've kept the nameplate page empty because the next page is this book belongs to, and here I've kind of written down my name. So I just didn't want to like make it big and colorful for a work planner. I have left the vision board page kind of blank. Also don't know what to put here, maybe some stickers or memorabilia later. And this is my favorite spread of all, because all the pink highlighted areas are holidays. So as soon as I get my holiday calendar for the year, this is what I do the first thing. So I write down all the holidays, and then I kind of make a list of like all the days that I've taken a day off when I've been sick and what was an actual like leave. So I list that down just to keep a track of how many leaves I'm taking, and you know, because we get a certain amount of leaves for the whole year. And here also, like if there are some like family functions, I kind of write it down so that I know to apply for leave or to, you know, book my tickets, plan a vacation, those kind of things. So the pink highlighted ones are the official holidays that I already have at work. Next comes the monthly page. In the monthly page, I don't plan for anything. I just write down what that particular holiday is for, and that's it. I don't really write down anything in the monthly page because this is not really a spread that I refer to. So whenever I open to a fresh new week, and this is just an example, of course I can show you my actual work week because confidential information. So I write down whatever is the top priority and the 1, 2, 3 key tasks for the day. Then I also block out some areas where I know where there is a meeting or whatever is the deadline, that by this time I need to have that project ready to be submitted. I mark out all the calls and meetings throughout the week. Generally there is a fixed weekly pattern for these calls, but sometimes whatever pops up, I just want it to be in the calendar, like in my hourly section, so that I know what hours I have for the actual focused work that day. And that really helps me to divide up my time and decide on what projects to prioritize for the particular day. Now, since this is a weekly planner, it also has Saturdays and Sundays, but this being a work planner, I'm not using the Saturdays and Sundays like on the day off. So what I use that for is like a recap of the week. So I just want to write down what I have done that particular week, why was whatever I have done important, and did I do anything extra? Did I have any roadblocks? Did I like get stuck anywhere? And what is my plan for the next week? Now the plan for the next week thing kind of keeps filling up as I go through the week, because sometimes I will, be working on a project and that gets deprioritized to the next week, something else more important comes up. So that way, I can just continue to write down that, okay, this is for next week, or this is not right now, this part of the analysis can be done later. Then this block becomes my like planning reference for the coming week. And the 2 pages that you have after each week, the 2 blank pages, is generally where I take more like notes about different projects, any important key information that has come up that week, that kind of thing. I also have a separate work notebook for like more detailed notes. If there is a big project coming up and lot of things are being discussed, then I prefer to keep everything in that notebook. But if there is just like meeting MOMs or some 1 or 2 like follow-ups, or some decision has been taken for a particular project, then those kind of things I like to write down in the 2 blank pages after each week. It just kind of completes the week and lets me know what was I working on and what is the final like conclusion of that. And sometimes I also write down like if there has been a course that has been assigned. So generally a lot of companies do keep assigning you certain courses just to keep you up to date. So notes with respect to like the course that I'm doing, if it is something interesting, something related to my work, then that sort of thing I will put down in these 2 pages so that it's easy for me to refer to, and I will remember that the week I was doing this particular project, I have learned this concept, so I can apply it. Also, in the priorities and affirmations and all of that section, I don't generally fill this up, just the priorities. I write down what are the priorities for that particular week, highlight all the projects that are there. In affirmations, I generally leave it blank. We have the accomplished and the grateful for sections. Grateful for section, I generally write like some good thing that happened that particular week with respect to work. Like if I made a friend at work that week, or if I learned something new, those things I write down. Every single day, nothing really changes, but these small things where you feel like you have done something important, that really keeps me going. So I like to have a note of that. This also comes in handy when you do like one-on-ones with your manager, or you have like a year-end or a mid-year or some kind of a review. It's so easy to set up also. Before you start your work week, just write down these 1, 2, 3 things, and yeah, you're good to go. You just have to fill in throughout the week, and I can assure you, you'll have a much better grasp of what you're working on and how that creates an impact if you are doing this kind of a format. Yeah, I hope this video was helpful for you. So that's why I'm using my Neorah planner for everyone who is curious about it, and I will see you in the next one. Bye.